He's trying to get. It's Bob. It's Bob. Is it Bob? Rob. Sorry, Rob.
Could it be something that's not circular?
Yeah.
It's the opposite of circular.
We're not doing a circular argument right now.
No, we're not doing a circular argument. Nice.
We're doing the plain argument.
We're very plain, flat truth.
We're plain people. We're plain people. Plain people.
Did you see the eclipse? Or did you not think that was a proper eclipse?
No, it was an eclipse, but
okay.
how they explain it, the way eclipse happens is actually bullshit, to be quite blunt.
It was solar, wasn't it?
It doesn't make sense if you really look at the whole idea of the sun's, the Earth's shadow, you know, and it doesn't make sense. Yeah, if you do it in the real world and get two objects and put the sun in a position and the moon in position and...
Yeah, but the scientific position, not your position, yeah? You mean...
As a ball, if you replicate the same dimensions in the real world, it would not happen. If I if I stand in the shadow of light,
yes,
that's going to be in... That object will be in shadow,
yes,
and therefore no light could be cast. And
yeah, but that's what happened. Did you see the people recording it with their cameras?
We see that.
People all over the US recording.
I've seen an eclipse.
I've seen one in real world. What are you inferring from that?
No, that they witnessed it, as in
that
like
is
it was.
Real, that
there was an eclipse. I mean, people all over the US. What was strange was, if you look at the shadows, it looks like cloudy shadows. It's really weird. It's probably light diffraction, because it doesn't look like this sort of a shadow. It looks like almost like you're looking through a cloudy. It was really strange. They showed pictures of it.
So you're trying to say suspicious or what?
No. I'm fully
transparent. Maybe
I fully accept.
All I'm saying is that I watched it live. I tried to watch the NASA thing, but the NASA was having loads of problems.
Maybe they know that you're a conspiracy theorist, and that's why they blocked you.
It weren't just me. There was like I don't know, a couple 100,000 conspiracy theorists who were just trolling the site just like me, saying, "What's all these graphics? You know, come on, show us the pictures. Show us the pictures." You know,
Uncle G.
Very well, man. How are you? You alright? You're streaming live.
You're streaming live.
Tell everybody that you're streaming live here.
I can throw Godwin into the mix. Yeah?
This is the place to be.
Look, this is Carnival Day. I passed down the Carnival.
By the way, Phil's coming back today.
You're not leaving now, are you?
You want to have a chat with Phil on science and cosmology?
We'll chat,
Happy for you to do that. You should be here a bit later. It's not long, actually.
It's a bit tight for me.
But again, if science and cosmology and stuff isn't what you like, then that's cool.
Let me chat to you, brother.
It's a bit like religion for me, you know what I mean? So,
science.
Yeah.
Except that you got evidence for it.
Scientism, I call it.
You just come?
Not science, the real science. It's scientism where we're
Is there a special science?
Yeah, natural science.
Okay. Is that not what most people accept?
No, they accept
no
stuff
carnival today?
What kind of goes in the mind, you know?
No carnival.
All these fairies which go on in the mind and
if they knocked out the real moon and put a replacement fake moon there, would you notice? Would you know?
No. Why would I know? Why would they
notice?
If they showed it on
TV. I'm assuming, Ty, that you don't think it's flat, do you?
The Earth?
Yes.
No, there's certain. We were just getting into it, and I'm not an expert by any means. Like he says.
But do you accept science, or do you?
I accept observable science.
Yes.
Thank you.
Not the exclusive observable science, but the human observable science. So I've got problems, which I was going to take on with him to get some explanation.
You know, observable
science. You know, when we say observable, Rob, what we're really saying is something that you and I also can see.
So,
you know, not all of it.
You don't accept the live streams from the International Space Station, ISS?
I didn't watch it yet.
Oh, you must have a look. It's beautiful.
I didn't watch
it. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Did you know they took a photo of the ISS going past the sun? How fast it goes past. The guy actually got on his camera, pointed up with a special covering over it. He filmed the ISS going past, and it like flies past so fast they had to slow it down, and you can see like the little dot of the ISS.
Hold on. So you did he film any of the other 2,400 satellites which are up there going past the sun?
No, well obviously he had a timing and he knew exactly when that was coming.
But I mean there's 2,400 surrounding the Earth.
But they're very small, aren't they?
They are very small, but
if you look at the ISS, that's tiny. On his picture, it was like the size of a pinball. temporary. They had to blow the picture up so you could see the ISS.
All right, so
that's bigger than any satellite.
They had to blow it up.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do exactly the same thing, and I'm gonna present it to you. And you tell me if it's any different.
Cool.
I haven't got a camera, obviously, but I got some great.
Do you think people
I got great software.
But do you think that people in the US filmed what we're talking about?
What, the eclipse?
Yeah, but this is not agencies.
No, eclipse is real.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying
the ISS space station, because you don't think that, and you would only accept it from people who are not institutions. So a guy was in a field, pointed it up, saw the ISS go past the sun.
Who was filming him?
About 3 other guys, so you actually see
Who were these? I mean, on what platform was this presented in?
NASA science.
No, he's only on his own website. He's a guy like you and me. He's not involved with anybody else. There are other cameras watching him, and the cameras were all up there. They said 3, 2, 1, and they could see when it went past, because you can time it. They've set it up so you can time it. So if I sent that to you, have a look at that and tell me what's the problem with that.
It's not real. We've looked at.
What are you saying it's not real?
I mean,
come on, talk to us, man. Are you saying it's the Bournemouth Studios?
Oh yeah.
Or Hollywood?
All right. For instance, yeah. If you
Rob, you understand? Ask him to spit it out.
You know.
This is live, man.
I was watching them doing the little discussion inside the ISS. And, you know, the lady's got her hair going up like this. You know, like someone put some hairspray in her head, or I don't know, maybe.
What's that supposed to represent?
And then some CGI mic floating, you know. Yeah, rather than just handing over the mic, let me just emphasize we're in space. Here, woo! You know, all this over-exaggerated behavior and
props, isn't it?
It's ridiculous.
Movie props.
You know,
Rob, he's having a go at science right now.
All I'm saying is that, you know, I've seen Bruce Willis die and kill many people, but you know. But those are in the movies, and they look very real, you know. I've seen loads of movies what look very real.
Yes.
They're indistinguishable. Arthur C. Clarke said it. No technology will be indistinguishable from magic. Rob.
When Phil comes here, I'll get him to see if he can come over and explain it to you, the science, without you having to leave the Earth.
The magic of Hollywood.
Except that maybe we'll give it a go. I think Phil spoke to you last time. But
I mean, NASA was created around the time of
after the Cold War or something.
After the Cold War, but
before the Cold War.
All the Germans, when they left Germany and got bought out by the Americans.
The Reich, what's that thing called?
The Reich, the Third Reich, and they were part of Operation Paperclip. You know, after Admiral Byrd went down to the Arctic and found out that, you know, there's a lot of nice things down there, the Arctic Treaty came in place, and after that NASA was established, and that started to perpetuate and propel.
That went to the North and South Pole before NASA.
Yes.
But they weren't enforcing this. All the countries, all the institutions, they weren't enforcing your
They left straight
South
away.
Pole.
They left straight away.
But they did see the South Pole.
They did go right. They went to the South Pole. You can go and see the South Pole, but you can't go across it. Admiral Byrd, I think he went across it.
Yes.
And found more land. That's from his mouth. Now he's the youngest.
So he
is the youngest admiral in the U.S. Navy at that time.
Yes.
Yeah, in the Air Force, and he was very highly decorated, and he had a hell of a lot of resources for him to go down there and do this expedition. And this is documented on a TV interview of him saying what he did, where he went, and what was down there and what he saw. You know,
what did he see there?
He saw more land.
So doesn't that falsify your theory?
No, it doesn't.
Why not?
I said it's a barrier around.
Yeah, but did he actually see the barrier?
Yeah, he flew over the barrier.
And the barrier is what, high like in Game of Thrones or something?
Yeah, something like the Game of Thrones, if you want to.
Like a 1,000-foot barrier.
Just like if you go down to Patagonia, yeah, so we don't make it so comical. Yeah, if you go to Patagonia, you see those very high walls of ice, yeah, which look higher than this Empire State Building, yeah, which falls into the water, yeah, and if you look out yonder, you see it goes on for. It looks like it goes on forever, but it doesn't. But in the South Pole, yeah, going across it, it does go on for a very long time. And he almost ran out of petrol when he was coming back. So, he nearly ran out of petrol. What's his name? Admiral Byrd. You can Google him. Once he's seen it, he went over it and so forth.
Any photos or documentation of that?
I think there is, but you can have a look into his document. It's been documented heavily. Yeah, so you know, it's not from my imagination, and it's not from no one else's imagination.
No, but I do think the imagination is the flat Earth part, not that he flew somewhere.
No, well, you know, they got some very accurate maps which cartographers have drawn up. The Gleason model, which has been around for quite a long time, and as well as that, a lot of aviators' maps are designed in the same way as the flat Earth. So you know,
because it's a flat map, isn't it? So
they have a different projection. And basically, like I said, it's more accurate. You understand? And so it's not like, oh, it's a bunch of nutters doing these things, because I don't think you could really do an accurate map of the world in that perspective.
No, but you can be mistaken about something and be accurate about something else. It's not mutually exclusive.
I'm not saying it's
you could be able to do a perfect map.
I'm not saying it's mutually, but we're moving away from the subject. The subject of the fact that NASA was introduced to reinforce the idea of the global Earth by having space missions and taking pictures from space and so forth.
That's
blah,
a huge
blah, blah.
conspiracy, though. We have evidence.
Well, prior to that, they were launching missiles, nukes, up into the atmosphere. If you go and look at the data for nuclear launches, you'll see a period of time where they fired untold amounts, untold amounts. That's when they were trying to test to see if they can penetrate, supposedly, this firmament.
So what happened to them, these missiles?
Missiles exploded when they hit the top.
What, there's like a, do you think there's like a physical top?
Well,
like a glass top or some sort of barrier, like a force field?
Glass is quite interesting because it's a man-made substance, but what we understand as a man-made substance.
Lightning can make glass, but it's sand, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But check this out. Yeah, let's check this out. So,
never trust a man, never trust a
so
man.
Do you believe that space is a vacuum?
Pretty much. Well, it depends what you mean by vacuum.
Devoid of air and sound and all these.
Not devoid of all particles, but devoid of H2O and sound as we currently understand it on Earth. Yeah.
I mean.
So when they blast a rocket, you wouldn't hear it.
You wouldn't hear it, exactly.
Completely silent. Yeah.
Do you understand how to create a vacuum on Earth?
I know they do it at NASA. They've got a big vacuum chamber, haven't they?
Why would you need a chamber?
To test how things react.
Why would you need a chamber? Not just to test it, I'm saying, but why would you need a chamber as part of the apparatus?
Why would you need it? Good question. I'm not an expert on it. Why would you need it? To suck out whatever, probably. Normally they suck out, is it air? I don't know.
I mean, how would you separate air from a vacuum? Would you need not a barrier?
You need a barrier.
I'm asking you.
I don't know. No, look, I'm not an expert.
So if there's no, all right. Basically, they have made like vacuum. You can create a vacuum on Earth by sucking out the air out of a glass chamber, basically. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
And it becomes a vacuum. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, in a vacuum, which is you can actually not make any. There's no air to push from. Yeah. That's why there's no sound, because sound is compressed air and expanding air. Yeah, that's how the sound.
Air just conducts sound, isn't it?
It's compression of air. That is sound. It compresses and expands. I've done it in sound engineering.
You have? Oh,
yes,
right.
that's what sound waves are. Compression of air. Yeah. Now, there is also no what we call no push. So, you know, your satellite making all these maneuvers with these jet propulsions. Yeah. There's no push in a vacuum.
How do you know that?
I've seen an experiment.
Do you think that the vacuum that we create here is the same as the one up there? or not? I don't know.
I would suspect a vacuum is a vacuum. Yeah. But anyway, so as well as that, like I said, it's contained. So it needs to be. There has to be some solid barrier between this breathable air and the vacuum air. Therefore, it must be impenetrable.
So right. I mean, the air gets thinner and thinner. We know this. We've measured it. If you go up in an aircraft, why do they have compress the
aircraft's been to space.
Well, even the ones been to space.
No, we haven't been to space.
Hello, we live streaming.
Hello, mate. All right, good to see you always. Nature TV.
Nature TV.
London.
Johnny from Nature TV.
That's it.
Live streaming.
Yeah, I watched your last one. Very good. Like, improved as you got on. You'll have to show me how to do the live stream. I've got a phone there.
Yeah, I did on the phone, but now I'm live streaming.
Yeah. But I'll be starting from scratch. You'll have to show me one of the days. Yeah, nice.
If this was a ball and I had some water, yeah, how would the water stay on the ball? They say gravity. It would go to gravity. But water always finds its level. You see in this container, it's finding its level. Whatever angle I hand it out at, it finds its level. And that's water. Now water doesn't bend.
Like the Earth is curved.
Exactly.
That's a good point. Yeah.
On the ocean and it sticks to the bottom of the earth, you know, of the earth. If you spin something with water on it, it will fly off. Especially if it's moving at 1,000 miles per hour. Yeah. We're moving at 1,000 miles per hour right now. I mean, they say, oh, it's the atmosphere. We're all moving at the same speed in the atmosphere, but it's rubbish. Because when you're in a car, if you accelerate in a car, you feel the acceleration, the inertia, the bullet. Yeah, we don't feel none of that on here. If you're on a merry-go-round, if you go upside down, you'll feel your water finding its level in your body going up and down. What are we, upside down right now?